TV review. Hello everyone. This will be the most memorable trip in my brother's revenge career, because he is handsome. But he's rich, so to spend some money today he invited his best friend to go to a deserted island. Determined to hunt down a super delicious sea monster as bait for the boss. Even though it wasn't a spaceship, the friends who were bullied by their wives all scrambled to get on the boat. They went to a sea area that very few people go to. As soon as he entered the water, he encountered a super big lobster. They couldn't miss this delicious piece. He strained his ass to pull it out. But this shrimp is carrying a bunch of eggs with it. Even though he was a bit alarmed, he still knew when to stop. So even though the shrimp was super delicious, he still brought it back to the cave. The scenery here is so amazing that the fish forest surrounds him. In the beautiful scene, he passed through a school of fish, which was really interesting. After searching around, I discovered a lot of red lobsters down there. Come play with me, guys, let's play cooking. Hearing that, the shrimp curled their tails and ran away, but I was still able to carry one of them. If there is red, there must be green. If it's red, who can stand it? That's why my brother told me to go to another place and find a super big blue lobster that's not too big and won't come back. They moved the ship to another coral area. This place is colorful, the water is clear and more beautiful than the previous area. I don't know what this tiny breed is, do you? They look so playful, so adorable. As for that blue fish that seemed to be glowing, he suddenly discovered the presence of a lobster. But the capital is rotten. He slipped his hand from it, and the shrimp curled its tail and ran away. This lobster was super big. He didn't want to waste resources like that, so he tried his best to chase after it. The guy on the boat also rushed down to help even though he touched the shrimp again. But he still did not succeed. Finally had to accept defeat after the recent chase. Suddenly at this moment a bird fell into his boat. He gently picked it up. It seemed like the bird was injured somewhere. He left it on the boat and continued to dive below. Beautiful corals with vibrant colors brighten up this clear water area. He continued his process of finding crabs and catching shrimp. Why is it so easy to find out at night and yet so difficult during the day? After many missed catches, we played a game of cat and mouse with these mischievous shrimps. He stubbornly refused to give up and finally caught it. He returned to the boat. This bird seemed to be just exhausted. When it saw its fellow, it was extremely excited. So he carried it to shore, and only then did the bird spread its wings and soar high. Luckily, it didn't fall into the sea. I have enough ingredients to try out my solar oven. But he discovered this place, also a beautiful form of coral. There would definitely be lobsters here. And his prediction was not wrong. Just a second later, he discovered a super big shrimp. After struggling, he was able to carry it out of the rock hole. It's really big, guys. It looks so delicious when grilled like this, I can't believe it. It weighs nearly 4 kilograms, guys, so worthy of being in my oven today. The first man started preparing the shrimp, removing its large head with mature and decisive movements and then using scissors to cut the shrimp in half. Look at its firm flesh. Next, he cut the fruit he brought with him into small pieces. Pull out the oven tray, put the shrimp and vegetables inside and then take the oven to a suitable location. It will take 30 minutes to an hour. Leave to ripen. He adjusted the device accordingly and then enjoyed a wonderful time with his friends. They took out the green and red lobsters and started using a regular grill at a much faster speed and super delicious. After 30 minutes he returned to the solar oven, extremely looking forward to this look. The fresh, succulent, white meat is more delicious than pearls. The brothers couldn't help it, but immediately took a bite. Oh my god, this fresh flavor is truly amazing. Delicious from the sweet meat from the shrimp, guys. Can't forget the wonderful feeling of the trip the day before. So just a few days later the brothers went together to another sea. Although the water here is not as clear as the sea the day before. But the scenery is still no joke. The white sand beach stretches across the pristine island, and there are many turtles around. From the boat, you can clearly see the fish circling in the sea. So he decided to get ready, then curl his butt and dive into the sea. The water in this area is green but not clear, but still enough for him to see the fish floating lazily below. With a precise aim, the bullet went through a succulent grouper. It's worth the money. Just looking at this size is enough to know how delicious it must be. Today the weather seems a bit cloudy, so I want to go to a less rough sea, hoping to have a better view. He dived to a fairly deep position. Perhaps he didn't want to waste much of his time, so a big fish suddenly jumped out. Vow to sacrifice yourself. Well, since you have a heart, I also have a stomach. I carried her onto the boat so she could get used to the smell of oxygen. This fish is extremely delicious. The other creatures in the water were still floating around, extremely beautiful and adorable, but he really had a wonderful day exploring. Sun and rain are heaven's business. Enjoying a new life is our business. Just happy. Truly wonderful experiences. I enjoy the wonderful feeling of floating, gliding on our water surface like a wave. Is the happiest desire in the world. He was about to return when the sun started to rise. It would be a sin to not go hunting at such a good time. You leave it to your friends, dive into the sea. The fat man quickly asked for a fresh baby. That means this feeling of conquest is very easy. Although there is no shortage of fish in supermarkets, the fat guy still wants to divide it up to give to his family. These are truly gifts from nature. He continuously carried onto the boat fish that had run out of sauce. This water area is calm without a ripple, shining brightly in the sunlight. Being immersed in this beautiful scenery is the extremely lucky thing in his life. Bardoy's family likes mountains, while my family likes the sea. After swimming until I was starving, they took out a random fish and started frying it into delicious, succulent pieces. Mix into flour and fry on the grill. This is my favorite dish that I always do very well success. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to continue supporting TV reviews in the following videos. Review TV, love you all.